Mixing pays the bills. Scratching doesn't pay the bills.
Okay.
Even if you're in competition, it'll get you a little bit, but even those DJs come right back around to mixing and have to do parties and events and stuff like that.
These terms.
Yeah, so
break it down.
Yeah, break that down. What does that mean?
One of the interesting things about both of you guys is in your own respective lanes, you're both content creators, how did you get into content creation? How did you decide, like, okay, I need a podcast, right? I'm gonna do my own, version of this to create my presence on social media. Today's episode is sponsored by the Content Parlor Studios. The Content Parlor Studios is the destination for content creators and business owners to make super dope content in North Omaha. The Content Parlor Studio features state-of-the-art equipment, including cameras, lighting, and colorful backdrop options for you to rent as well. You can rent the podcast studio for video production, or if you're looking to do something with still photos, you can rent the photo studio as well. That would include modeling and product photos and other types of creative projects. If you want to rent the studio or the equipment, check out the link in the description below. Now back to the episode. Welcome to the Content Parlor. I'm your co-host, Chardell. I am really excited about this episode. We've got some folks from the music industry here for this episode. We're gonna go over DJing and a couple of other things, but before we get to that, let's do some quick housekeeping. Content Parlor is a social club for content creators. It's the one-stop shop place for information and resources for content creators to get work done and get work. You can follow us on social media at our handle on all the platforms at Content Parlor. Be sure to, if you do follow us on YouTube, make sure that you hit the bell notifications so that you get the latest and greatest updates. Let's go ahead and go around the room here and see who we've got on the panel today. Got our usual suspects, so I'll start there. Build up some suspense for our special guest. So we'll start over here.
Tara Pierce.
And who are you, Tara?
I never know how to respond to
back in
this.
school, just say the
I am the graphic designer for Stable Gray.
Okay, it's good to have you back. Got a new tattoo. I don't think the people can see it from that angle, but I don't know if we got a camera shot on that. But yeah, you can see the shine on it. It's still
a little shiny.
Yeah, a little shiny.
Right on. Teddy Young, co-host. Yeah, I've introduced myself a lot of times. Y'all should know who I am by now.
This might be their first episode.
Never know, man. You don't know if they see you.
Newcomers.
Know me?
It's good marketing. Remind them.
Yeah, one of the co-hosts for Content Parlor and co-founder of Stable Gray.
Welcome back. Thanks for the co-host. Saved my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
To my right, my left, your camera right. What's your name and what do you do?
DJ Mista Soul and I DJ, and I run a radio station 87.9 The Culture. To keep it short.
Okay.
It can get long.
Yeah.
DJ Pool.
Get into the
I feel
details.
like it's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on.
Okay, cool. Well, good to have you on the show. How can
Thanks for
people
having
follow
me.
you if they want to?
You can 87.9 The Culture, of course. You want to follow that first, and then DJ Mista Soul, DJ MistaSoull, everything.
You definitely said that before, because I
Yeah, that was so
I
fast.
thought it was Bone Thugs for a second. Cool. What's your name?
My name is Eric Ejike. I go by Get Ejike With It, similar to the Will Smith song, except it's my last name. So it's Get, then Ejike With It. By day, I'm a CEO of a small nonprofit clinic called the NOAA Clinic, so we're a free health clinic. By nights and weekends and random days, I DJ, do events, event curator, talent buyer, and then also run my own podcast called Streets A&R Podcast. You can follow that at Streets A&R on all platforms.
Shout out Streets A&R. That's a good one, too. You guys just had an event just a little while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we got to partner with Omaha Performing Arts up at the Holland Center to interview producer, composer, pianist, Grammy award-winning artist Robert Glasper.
Okay.
Yeah, Grammy Award winning.
Connected like that.
Yep, and yep, just.
You sound so excited about it right now.
Listen, we done had some,
You need to be turning up on that one.
we done had some guests. We done had some
Man.
guests. We done had some guests. So that's the latest big timer we got a chance to interview. One of those you had to be there because we couldn't record.
Right, yeah.
We had pictures. We probably could have recorded. I almost gorillaed it, but I didn't want to set a relationship just in case.
Yeah.
A little tight over there at OPA. So we had to let that go.
Did you hear about when Chris Brown had to apologize to him when he won his Grammy?
We asked that question.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You on it. All right.
Shout out Light Pole too. I saw local artist Light Pole was on there a little bit.
Yeah,
ways back.
Lipo, he even comes and guest hosts from time to time. When I ain't got nobody, I'm like, yo, come, especially when my co-host, Sierra, when she was out pregnant, and I was like, I need some bodies in here. I don't want to talk to myself. That shit get weird. But it was cool. LP.
Cool. Right on. Well, yeah, welcome to the show, guys.
It's all good. They said I could.
No, I'm saying I talk to myself doing radio.
Oh, yeah.
So you saying I'm being weird? When I do radio, I'm in that room by myself.
But you radio. You got radio voice. My voice on here, they gonna get annoyed with me.
Nah.
Like, it's just I'm
Man
good.
is humble. The man is
No, my voice is terrible for,
No
for
way.
the airways. I still do it.
Cool. Also, shameless plug, we are right here at the Content Parlor studio. This is your spot. This is your location if you're a content creator to book this space, rent this equipment that you're seeing us use, including the microphones and cameras and lights.
Word. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How much is it hourly?
Yes, we have hourly or packages. So hourly can be as low as $50 an hour for the photo studio side, which is on the other side. Over here, it just kind of depends on what you're trying to do, whether it's podcasting or, so it can go up from there.
And that comes with all this stuff I'm looking at?
Whatever you need, man, we got you.
Roger that.
Yeah, even live
Nice.
streaming too. If you need to stream something,
Okay.
we can help set that up.
So if me and him brought our turntables and stuff up here.
Oh yeah,
We
we
can do a
actually
live
got
stream?
one of those coming up. Shout out Beats and Sheets Karaoke.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be renting this equipment to do a virtual event.
Right, okay, dope.
Yep, you can use it for that.
All right.
Yep.
I'll turn it over to my man.
Yeah, so, welcome to the show, guys. We'll just get right into it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No particular order, but let's just get into, how did you get into DJing?
You want to go?
Does it make sense for me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So when actually a couple years since I had moved here, I got interested just randomly. I've always been a person looking for music and finding random music and just dope stuff that's not on the radio. So I just got an inkling. I got my first laptop, and that was like my first laptop ever. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to DJ. And at the time, I was dating a young lady who's now my wife. And she was like, hey, I got a guy. I used to intern for him at the radio station, and he doing a workshop up at the Bemis Center. I think it was the Bemis. And like, cool. He said, you can pop up on him. So I popped up on him. I had my equipment. I already had kind of some of my stuff. Didn't really know what I was doing. But I walked in, and I'm in there with like 7-year-olds. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick it out. I don't care.
Okay.
And he was like, you know what? We did the little class, and he was like, since my lady had got him that gig, got him that check, them real checks when you go to the Art Institute. Okay. But he's like, you can take my DJ course for free. So we would meet either at his place or at the old
Crossroads.
The old radio station was over at Crossroads.
Yeah.
And we meet once a week. I think it was 6 or 8 weeks. And we do lessons, so just working, and I had homework, so you would be able to tell if I did my stuff or not.
Okay.
But I was on top of my game, had to pass the class, so had to do an event or DJ his set, and I'm like, I'm not finna mess your stuff up, so I'm gonna do my own event. And then did my first real event at the Carver Bank when it was an art space.
Yeah, I remember
So
I remember that.
called it The Experiment. Shout out to my old students, RIP, one of my students. But yeah, that's really just how I got started. Like saying something, getting connected, taking it serious, and going from there. I've been going, I think, 8 years now.
Okay.
What was that long ago?
Yeah.
My
Commerce changed real quick.
Yeah, it's a bank now.
Yeah.
Back a bank.
Yeah, I remember.
Is it really a bank?
Well,
Yeah, no, it's
that
a
ain't this
shell of a
episode.
bank. Oh, that ain't this. All
It's
right,
a connection up to the bank.
cool. Shout out American National. Don't act like we don't know.
You ain't got no money in here?
So there's a lot to unpack there, but I want to get intro out of the way with Soull because
man.
you know I remember my first encounter with Mr. Soull was
Word?
Yeah, it was it 90? What was it before 106.9? It was
107.7, 97.3.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So 97.3.
Hot, right.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just remember, and then I remember when you brought Anthony Skull Walker and those folks when they were touring the country to audition artists and stuff, and that just left an impression because I didn't think you could do stuff like that here in
Really?
Omaha.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to you going that far back, but I'd love to hear more.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the radio station side, but I started DJing, man, about to age myself out here, aren't I? No, anyway, but I started DJing when I was a kid, like, and this, when Run DMC was out, and they came through here with the tour and the Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, they opened up for them. And so when Run DMC when Jazzy Jeff hit the stage, it was like something you haven't never seen it, right? Even before. And so, but what got me was really Jam Master Jay, because we couldn't see him. He was so high up, they had him hanging from the ceiling. And so they had the screen, you could see his hand scratching or whatever, and you just hear the sound. And it was real vinyl. There was no, like, we pre-recorded it like they do today, and then they come and do the show, and then they're not really doing it. So that's what I saw that said, man, I want to do that. You know, and fast forward with my crew, of course, I had a crew, the Rebels. We was breakdancing and doing graffiti and stuff like that, and rapping. Should have never rapped, but we'll get past all that. Started DJing, and we learned our DJing from that right there, or whatever we would hear on a record, because you couldn't see it. There was no one seeing it. And the one time we did see it, we saw one of the best DJs ever, even to this day. His name was Qbert, out of the Bay, right? Imagine seeing you thinking you knowing what you're doing in DJ, and then I think it was MTV, I'm sure, or BET. I'm pretty sure it was MTV. All of a sudden they say, hey, we're gonna highlight this dude, the old DJ Qbert, and he's doing something you've never seen before or heard before, and you don't understand how he's doing it. And so that's when we recorded that on VHS, and we would just look at that. But if you're introduced to something, you think that's all it is. So our crew would just cut and scratch everything. Play the song, cut, scratch, drop, battle. We battled each other during parties. Like, that's what we thought it was. And then we met this dude, DJ Stu. Fast forward past that, I taught him how to scratch. He taught me how to mix. And once I learned how to mix, my scratching just went to trash, because it's a perishable skill. You gotta really, really stay on it, right? But I'd rather mix than, that's a lie. I like high level DJing, but mixing pays the bills. Scratching doesn't pay the bills.
Okay.
Even if you're in competition, it'll get you a little bit, but even those DJs come right back around to mixing, and they have to do parties and events and stuff like that.
These terms.
Yeah, so-
Break it down.
Yeah, break that down. What does that mean?
Mixing is basically how you get from one track to the next track, and how do you make that process seamless. So if you a great DJ essentially will have you on a ride, and you may not even know that the song changing. You just start to get into the flow, and it's playing with tempos, playing with keys, playing wordplay, and figuring out when's the best time to drop in and out. And now with Serato and doing the
Sims.
the stems, it's like
Yeah.
crazy, which means they can,
software tools.
so another software can now take different parts of the song and isolate it. Meaning now you can have any record and you can go just to the vocals. You can go just to the bass line. You can go just to the keys. You can go just to the drums. So now you can do any combination and really get into a mixed bag. You can get crazy.
That's kind of a little nugget that was just dropped, because I know a lot of people think that the DJs are getting those records directly from the from the publishing company.
The remixed ones?
Yeah, the remixed versions, and then scratching
Right.
it together.
Most, at least for me, the remix comes from either a DJ, a producing DJ, and then the labels hire that producing DJ to do an official remix or something like that. But most of the time, it's just us.
That's
We just the
great.
DJs just going out,
Just skill.
yeah, and doing it like you said with the technology now, which I was totally against when it first all dropped out. 'Cause I was a vinyl person, like, you know, records, man, you ain't really DJing. I was that guy, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, but the fast forward, like my story's so long, man. We'll be here all day. We can skip past it, bro. Like it's like when you asked me that, I was just like, I don't even know where to start. Like it's crazy. And then got into radio 2003 and.
Yep.
Kept doing, you know, DJing and doing my own events and stuff. I've been doing that for a while, doing residencies in clubs. And my last club situation was 2001 to 2002. And then it's just been like mobile with different stuff and
Dang.
radio and a whole lot of radio.
Now you've been all over the country, but I've heard some things about you DJing internationally as well. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
I lost international gigs
Okay.
because Mr. Don't get a passport. Yeah. No. I've lost probably about 8 gigs, which I know could have compounded into some more. But far as this around here in the States, we've done a lot. There's still a few bucket list places in the States I haven't done, but more than that, yeah.
I'm still mad at you about your Miami story.
Yo, hey man, I have plenty of DJ stories.
Well, super dope. Yeah, that's a really cool backstory. I know some of this stuff will go over people's head, but look, you can hit rewind. You got Google, you got Chat GPT. Look it up. It's not their job to teach y'all these terms, all right?
No, come pop up on us, pay a ticket, and come stand by us.
There you go.
Say you watch the podcast, and then we'll talk to you maybe.
Maybe.
Don't request no song, please.
What's up with that? Can I veer right quick?
Go.
Beer, brother.
Well, I don't mind requests. Why do you have a problem with requests?
Most people, when they some people who have an ear for music. I've got great requests that keeps it in the flow of whatever you at. Some people just want to come hear whatever they think their song is at the time.
Right.
So
it's not that you don't.
No, it's not that I don't. It depends on what they ask.
Roger
Because
that.
I'm like,
All right, I can respect that.
like we be up tempo. You see everybody moving. You come ask for some trap something.
sure.
I'm like, fam, we finna slow and drug the party up.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't understand it in their head. Like,
there are some people, like now that I've been able to carve my lane, I guess musically as a DJ, people who come to my events know what we on, and they'll, like I got another house party coming up.
right.
They know what is finna happen, and
Right.
they know that. So that when I get the requests from certain people, they know like, yo, get this one. I'm like, yo, I got you.
Right.
It might already be in the queue. I'm ready to roll. Like, I got you. I'm gonna hit you with something.
All right, that makes sense because I'm gonna say DJs there's some DJs just do not take requests. Period. When to me that gives you a pulse that you may not even have that's happening inside the event. You know, and let's not. If you've been DJing long enough, you've had what they call now. You've had Serato face, where for some reason you're blanking on getting to the next song, and somebody will walk up. He's like, hey, yo, play that new such and such. You be like, thank you. And it'll get you right back in your groove. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
Yeah,
and disclaimer, just because we DJs, we do not know every single song that's out.
Lord have mercy.
Stop that.
You ain't got, like, fam,
Man.
I don't listen to that on the regular. No, I might, then gotta go download whole, like, buying stuff on the
Yeah.
phone, but, like, no, I don't got Lil Tutu. Didn't know Lil Tutu was popping off on TikTok right now.
Yeah, that's how it goes now. Like, yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's an interesting backstory. I'll just kind of segue into the content creation piece. One of the interesting things about both of you guys is in your own respective lanes, you're both content creators, which this stuff didn't exist, you know, when we were first getting into these creative spaces, right? So we just want to unpack that a little bit. Like, is that making a difference for you guys, like having that presence on social media? And I guess before we go into that, just backing up a little bit, like how did you get into content creation? How did you decide, like, okay, I need a podcast. All right, I'm gonna do my own, version of this to create my presence on social media?
Shoot, the podcast kind of happened during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I was actually just trying to figure out how to stay active because everything shut down. So it wasn't no gigs, it wasn't none of that. Like there was nothing happening, right? I even got in trouble for doing something and bringing people together. Even though they were spread out, I got in trouble like a mug. But so I was trying to stay active. So I actually started posting, which I should take them down. They on my Instagram, but I started posting a song every day by a different artist, except on Sundays, and I did that for like 34 weeks straight. And from that, just from the reception from that, and people finding new artists and stuff, and people was like, yeah, we want to, and I got real active on Facebook like that year, just talking, like what I was gonna say. But just from that reception, and my homie was like, bro, you just need to get on the radio. You got to start talking. Like you got too much in you to say and to talk about. And literally 3 years ago, we ended up having I was teaching in the summer, teaching a class. I teach a class that uses hip hop and rap music to talk about public health and social justice. So I'll be breaking songs down and teaching it to the youth and somehow getting them to read books and stuff. But I actually ran into a student super interested. He just in my face like, yo, I do video, I produce. Like, you got something? I was like, I've been working, I want to do this podcast. He's like, I'm with it. Talked to my boy Johnny, who was the original host, my homeboy. We done events together. Johnny No Good, poet. And he knew somebody else and knew somebody that had done a podcast before, my guy D1. And then he brought in this young cat that he met at one of the community events during COVID. So we all 5 collectively got together and started flushing out, how we're gonna do this podcast. Originally was gonna try to do it at the Malcolm X Foundation. We got a little pushback from that, and then we was like, you know what, let's just redo I got a room in my house, let's redo it. And let's flip it around. So I literally had a couple of my homies from Creighton that I work with help get the cameras, stuff like that, and put it together, literally buying stuff, asking my little homie, he's 16, 17 at the time, like, hey, what do I need? Oh, you need this. And when I'm like, I can afford it, let's go. I'm borrowing money. I'm like, shit, I'm in debt. It's expensive. But, and literally put it together. And 3 years ago, the day we recorded, and I had to leave because my daughter is about to be born. So literally we went from there, first recording, I guess second recording technically, but because the first one was messed up. We messed up the tech plenty time. But went from there to the hospital to go have my daughter the next morning, like 8 hours after that. But that's really how it kind of got started, just in my house. And then from there, we're in a new space. Everybody don't know where we at, but we at the bottom of somewhere, and that just happened out of building a relationship with them. And you know what I'm saying, I ain't paying no rent, so
that's a cool setup in there.
Yeah.
So wait a second, 3 years?
3 years. So
I didn't know.
3 years. 3 years. We released 101 episodes.
Big time.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep. So we've been moving and grooving, and
Get it.
just some of the guests we just interviewed. That's not an episode, but we just interviewed Robert Glasper. Yeah. We had early this year the renowned world poet Aja Monet, who follows. She's like under Soull Williams and blanking on her name. We had her. We had D. Watkins, renowned author. We had Derek Higgins from here back when he had his show on Cartoon Network and was featured as having the most unique record collection in like the world. So we got him, and just we had Soull a few times. Okay. The OG, new space, old space. So he done seen the level up and just and kind of any and everybody. We still got a lot of artists locally to get to, but we've had a good number of artists and trying to put people on the new, people we believe in. So I don't like putting trash on. I'm gonna say that. So
That's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Dope.
What about yourself? So how did you, because I know for us, it's a part of our business, that's stable grade marketing. And then as we provide services to our clients, we realize what we need to be doing. So that's how we got into it. But I mean, your path is totally different than Eric. So how'd you get into?
Man, look, social media found me. I didn't find social media. I was just, like I said, technology was going forward, and I was just like, I'm on these analog, period. That's just where it was at. Then, like you said, it'd be a friend say, yo, you need to start recording. You need to jump on this thing called Twitch, and blah, blah, blah. Do what you do, X, Y, and Z. And so eventually, when technology, I gave in to technology for our equipment. And then when I made the deep dive, I was so mad I didn't make the deep dive a long, long time ago because of what I'm able to do, DJing right now. But anyway, so to get into content, I only did it more or less kind of like that. It's just like, all right, I can still do what I love to do and turn on the camera and people tap in and, watch you here and there, right? And I was in San Antonio when I started. And then my brother from another mother, Marcos, was down there. He was just like, man, let's really do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, my man Marcos, he's paid, right? So next thing you know, pop up, everything's at the house, ready to go. We got cameras, we got computers and all this stuff. And so I just started, streaming. I didn't like it, but it was a necessary evil, and started doing it on Twitch. And now you look at Twitch now, they have a whole DJ program.
Yeah, I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah, that where the earnings goes towards your publishing. So now you can play this music and then not get taken down or any content restrictions and stuff like that because they got the partnership with the record labels. So really, man, the content creation found me because I figure if I'm going to stay in this and I got to grow. This is the new wave. This is the new vehicle. Like I can't walk up to somebody like, yo, check out my mix CD. It's not happening, you know what I'm saying? So,
You still trying to handle it?
hey, you know what I'm saying? I thought we was good with flash drives. Because on a flash drive, you could put video mixes on there, audio mixes. You could throw a whole podcast on there. And they don't even want that no more, man. What's the link?
Where's the link? Where's your APK at?
Yeah. So, man, content creation, it found me, but I'm still doing radio, which is, been around forever. Yeah. But I decided, like I was telling Tara, I said your name right?
Yeah.
Okay, Tara, that when I wanted to start the radio station, we're like, where's everybody at? Mm-hmm. Oh, they're on this thing called a phone. So that's why I went with 87.9 The Culture. And that is content creation. Mm-hmm. It's just audio. Now we got to hybrid it into video, so it's the podcast, it's the live radio, and it's the video. And can I veer one more time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody that's trying, where's the camera at? Where we at?
All of these.
Whichever
all of them. All of them.
Where my camera?
Right. So anyway, people who are trying to get into DJing now, understand this. The 2 turntables and the mixer is now only the basic bare minimum of DJing. Because now a DJ has to, because when I went into your thing, right? If you're gonna DJ, you better be a video producer too. As you being a video producer, you gotta be an audio engineer. If you're being an audio engineer, you gotta be the talent. And if you're the talent, you gotta produce the show. And if you're producing the show, like, right, you better know some type of graphics. So now you gotta do your job. Find graphics to do. Then you got to understand how to market online. So the DJ that's just behind 2 turntables anymore, if you really trying to be successful, them days are over. So if you don't have a work ethic to really DJ and learn a little bit about all those things I just said, I'm pretty sure I left some out, then hang it up or get a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I had you 2 on here, just what the evolution, DJing and evolution to podcasting and digital radio, just seeing, cause, I mean, it's a business.
Man, come on, man.
It's a business, so the business behind it and the pivots and the shifts that you gotta make. Y'all kind of touched on it too, but how important is the branding aspect of it? Because y'all both have a certain style that you're known for. So how important is it to create your own style? Because that's got to play a part in like the type of gigs you want to do. Right. It ain't just anything. Y'all don't just take anything, right? There's particular things that you want to do. So
that's
how
gonna
important
fit you,
is creating that?
I'll go first since I'm always throwing you under the bus first. Well, that's kind of two parts in there, right? So when you say the style, yes, every DJ has where their comfort zone is in the music and the gigs and the type of stuff they like to play, which is separate from marketing yourself and branding yourself, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I thought too small, right? And it was, once my crew, I knew we was kind of breaking off, like, yo, I'm gonna get out here and just really be the hottest DJ, the dopest DJ, the biggest DJ in Omaha. That's thinking too small. Like, you know now, like, yo, you could have said Kansas City, you at least the Midwest region. But I set out to do that. And the only way you're gonna do that is to be the loudest one. You don't have to be the best one. You gotta be the loudest one, right? But still be good at what you do.
Yep.
But it's about consistently putting that name and that logo out there consistently, right? And consider I came from a whole group of rapping and breakdancing and doing house parties. I already understood how to promote and do events. And so you start doing all these different events and you like just rocking and killing it. Then you get with crews around the city. They don't know how to DJ, but they have a following and they want to throw parties.
Yep.
Oh, go get that dude, DJ Mista Soul, he hot. So boom, you start doing that. So created the logo had to be on everything.
Yep. So
constantly being the loudest DJ out there, being the dopest DJ out there, and creating an experience. And a lot of DJs, especially during that time, behind your turntables and you rocking, you doing your thing. But I looked at it like, well, where's the show? And so when I started the residency, it was called the Parthenon. For 72nd is where, and Cass is where Walgreens is right now, like that whole area, right? And I started doing that, and it was a DJ booth, and I'm in the DJ booth in the very beginning of that, but it's all just solid, like I can see out, but nobody can see in. And I was just like, this is cool, party, you got 700 people rocking. I was like, nah, I need to be out there where they're at. So, boom, on an off day, I said, y'all need to string all these lines across this booth, boom, boom, they need to be on the stage. And I brought the DJ booth onto the stage. And then once I did that, I was like, all right, now that you're here, what you gonna do? So that's when, like, the whole just dancing and throwing bottled water, not throwing the water, but throwing the water, and you taking your clothes off, or just a shirt or whatever. I don't want to run around here like, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, and just getting on the mic and becoming an MC at the same time that the music is playing, right? So my thing was to give people an experience, and then like if you ever heard the crowd rocker DJs, I was given the crowd rocker name by my man DJ Stu, the same dude who showed me how to mix. He was in the service, came back into town, walks in the club, sees me going crazy. Afterward, he's like, yo, I've never seen a DJ do anything like that. Like, you are the crowd rocker. And so that's how that part got put on the name, and then that's how the coalition started with the crowd rocker DJs, right? So then you take the street, then go into radio with Busy B. Shouts out to him. Yep. Come do some radio. Now, man, I don't want to do no radio because I'm in my thing. I don't care about that. I said, all right, I'll come through for you, bro. And then end up doing Hot 107.7, 97.3 as we talked about. And I was just the third wheel, right? But one thing I noticed about it, man, it's kind of dry. It's no dry. He was talking about my little brother Brasco's on the show, because he was on the show before I was. I don't know how long, probably about a week or two long, I don't know. But then I just like, man, we got to bring some excitement to this thing. And the name of the show was called The Block. So every time Busy would come out of a talk break, I would just say, The Block. And then that just started catching on, like, who's that? And then they started learning, oh, that's Soull. That's the wild guy. So I would always just be more exciting than, the show. Yeah. And when it was my time, never stepped on anyone's toes. And then when we took that from Hot 107.7, 97.3, when we had to drive to Blair, and then they moved to Omaha with 106.9, right? And Busy was there, and I was still doing The Block, and then Busy I don't know if he got burnt out or whatever, but he was like, man, I don't want to do programming no more. And they brought this dude named Steve Fisk in, and we didn't know it. And so when they brought Steve Fisk in, we had a meeting just like this, and Fisk points at me, he's like, you can either leave or do your own show. I was like, I'm out of here, right? And he's like, you just gonna leave? I'm like, yeah, I'm only here for him. I was only there for Busy, right? So and busy like, oh man, go ahead and do your thing. I was like, all right, but I don't know anything about radio.
Right.
So boom, so they threw me on radio in the evening, started doing my own show. But I knew how to be a personality because to me, I was like, tamper down what I do live and concentrate it into this microphone, right? And that's when I learned how powerful words and stuff are, because I said some things that got people riled up. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what this thing is, a nice little vehicle right here. Yeah, okay. Let me test this thing out, man. So to shorten this up, because it's long, I'm always about, like, you see when I came on your show, 8790 culture. Like, you're not gonna see me without something that's representing something that I'm a part of, be it Mista Soul, the radio station, or anything like that. So that's what it's about, being loud. That's what I call it. Your marketing is y'all being a company, marketing company. I know y'all tell your clients all the time, you need to get up behind that tree, man. We can't see you.
Right.
Yep.
So
now, follow up to that before we get to Eric is, how do you know what's hot? Like, for your brand, you know, you have people come up to you, request songs. I'm sure you filter that somehow to match your brand or the style that you want to mix. Like, how do you know what music to play that fits like your brand, and to like to position yourself within the music, which is constantly changing?
One, y'all did a good job putting me on here with Eric, because what I envy about Errik is, like, he said, I'm gonna carve my lane, this is what I like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna find the people who like what I do. Then he backdoored it the other way. If someone books him to do a gig and he can say, all right, I'll go do that trap. Yeah, I got a good check over there. But everybody knows what Erik's gonna give you, right? He gonna give you what I like to call, like, just sparse music you ain't never heard of. I mean, the old thing is called boom bap, but it's more than that. It's musicality. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see him, you know exactly what's happening. Me, on the other hand, since I'm a people DJ, it's whatever is banging, right? And then I try to insert things that I like.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But even if I insert something that I like, it still has to match.
Right.
It has to, you know, well, I don't know about I'll speak for myself. Like this, I'm telling stories when I DJ. If anyone was ever stopped and listened to song after song after song at times, you'll realize I done told you a story about meeting a girl, to getting into a fight, to falling in love, because it's slow music at the end of the night.
Dang.
That's cool.
That's how it used to be. That was the old formula. That was the formula.
Like,
at a party, that's the formula. Like, you bring them in on your own accord, keep them out, place them, whatever. There's a certain time you start to rile them up. Then, depending on what crowd, sometimes you got to give them that fight shit. You got to give them that. You got to get to them. But then you got to know how to chill them out, but with something dope.
Yeah.
And then before the end of the night, last 20, 30 minutes, go home with something.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you know sometimes, but you know, that's the first time I've heard it articulated like that. You know it's happening, and but you just don't. You don't really think about it, man.
You gotta be in the purpose of why you there.
We do everything on purpose, and of course, I'm doing it on purpose. Like
everything is on purpose, man. Everything is on purpose, and you know, with doing radio, and I do a live rush hour, like it's not pre-recorded like 106.9 or something like that. And I said that on purpose. So when I go in at 5 o'clock today, there's gonna be real live DJing going on. And so, and since I have a hot, not hot as in, you know, the slang, but when I say hot, I mean it's active, it's alive, it's group chat, it's open for requests. So you can just turn it on and be like, oh, boom, boom. Of course, like Eric said, like, come on now, stop it. We can't be playing that right now.
Right.
So, you know, I'll say it on the mic. They're like, come on, stop with that. You know what I mean? So like yesterday was a day that 2 listeners, what I want to call, produced the whole mix show. Right? And why? It was, one, this is a cheat code on this one though, but Leaper is a DJ, right? And then there was another one, just a listener, right? Her name's Tracy. Them 2 was going back and forth, putting songs in there. So sometimes being a DJ, just like anything, like, how can I make this more exciting? I told myself, I'm gonna play every song that they put when they put it in there, even out of tempo.
Oh, that would have been fun.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I was able to pull it off. Like, it was crazy. And Lee was like, bro, I've never heard anything like that before. Like, and so those, when another DJ says, man, that was a great job, and then you can challenge yourself. And then being on radio, I feel like you need to prep people who don't know. So tempo of, it was about 110. It was a tempo that where I was at is at 110. And then the next song was at tempo 85, right? This tempo being beats per minute, how fast the song goes, because you guys wanted me to break it down.
Yeah, break that down.
So I'm like, how?
Wow, Clash.
Right. I'm like, how am I gonna go from 85 to, well, I was at 110 to get 85 there, right? So the song is playing, I'm thinking like, all right, cool, how can we do this? And I'm thinking, soul samples, right? During the early 2000s, not early, about mid 2000 when they was speeding up soul samples, right? Kanye West made it popular with Through the Wire and all that stuff, right? So I'm like, oh, let's try to do that live on air. So boom, but I want to warn people that I'm about to try something. Because if you don't set yourself up, you sound like it's trash. It's like, what's going on? So I'm going on the mic like, yo, we about to have some fun, watch this, hold on. I'm gonna say, if I mess it up, don't be tripping, right? That's me. So it's a DJ's way of like taking the blame off of himself when they mess up.
Right.
And so, but I was able to get through it, right? So boom, with technology we have eighth, 16 and 50 is how wide and spread that
50 is crazy.
that you can play the songs, which means it opens up the tempo range, right? So I had to go up to 50, open up the tempo range, get it together, bow, and drop it. And then, but I couldn't just drop it. I had to say, all right, let me catch it on a bar, right? So what happens is I catch this one that's coming in that's 85 on the first bar, the first downbeat. Then the one that's playing, we have on the mixer, I can just catch any loop I want to make it repeat. I said, I'm gonna catch this on the bar. So when that downbeat came, pow, I hit that. Now it sounds like house music, but slow, because it's at 110, right? So pop music, it sounds like it's a tempo at pop music, right? So it's sitting there going, So remember, I already queued this one up on the one, and I got the tempo wide all the way open. And it's a vocal, and it's like, da, 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 that's all it's saying. So now you get into this, now I got you right here, right? You done forgot the song that it was, because all you hearing is this, bump, 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 and then you hear this added element, da, 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 da. Then they going at the same time, right? And you're like, oh, this is hot, this is crazy. Boom, you let go of the one that's the acapella sample, and now the singing is going, but it's still going on at 110 at that beat, right? Yeah. As that goes 2 revolutions, take that cue off, now this beat and this song is mixed together in tempos they shouldn't even be at, right? Crazy. Boom. And when you slide all the way over, I got a sound effect that goes boom, right? I have a cued sound effect that's on one of my sound effects that makes it sound like it's the power's being cut off of the song. So it goes, right? So, boom, I hit this, boom, sonically, you hear the sound effect going, right? I hit that effect, it goes, bring it back on, I'm back down to 85.
Wow.
I know that was long, I didn't mean to take that.
Make the switch 87.9, man. That's the point.
There you go.
That's my guy, yes.
Don't make the switch, just add.
Yeah, man.
What's funny about soul talking and about being the loudest and doing this, like I'm the complete opposite.
But it works.
I'm like the mystery eclectic. If you know, you know. But people start to know. So like even at my events, I'm almost like, they were like, you need to record and get some footage. And sometimes I'm like, nah. So now people have stories like, and now it just becomes like folklore. Like, yo, was you at like my last house party? Like I did a black, like it was like the subtitle was Make House Music Black Again. And that's from an actual house producer named Lakim, and he produces house music because right now we think house music is the EDM and they're different, right? So I did that event, put it on. We had at Tiny House, and Tiny House was stacked to the max. It was like a real house party, but with like just black artists, like house music the whole night. And it was hot and everybody got COVID, but nobody cared. everybody got COVID. So it was
Not
wow.
see
It
that
was
coming.
wow.
You want a plot twist? Do you want a plot twist?
Everybody had,
but didn't care.
luckily I
They
worked
still
for a
talked
clinic
about it.
and was like, I got tests and I was dropping them off. I got it too, so I didn't bring it in there. I didn't do it. I caught it too. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. But-
DJ Medical.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool because people were like, we've been looking for something else to do. Like I used to have a series called Something Else.
Which is awesome.
Like literally, what do you
looking
do?
for something
Yeah,
else
but
to do.
that's why I called the whole
COVID.
series. Like you need something else. Here's something else to do. So I would put on events called Something Else to get people to.
Yeah.
They already in their mind now as marketing. They know like I'm not going to get the regular. So if I want to go do that, I go do that. But I want to do something else. And it's always been for me. Like some of the old school roots of DJing, of trying to find a record that the other DJs don't got. That's how I approach DJing, and I approach it from not like the people or crowd perspective, but I'm an artist and they need to watch me paint. So if you coming to see me, it's not that I'm the show. I'm gonna take you on an experience to where you can experience this art that I'm about to give you, whatever it is, and it can be trap. I can get into that. But I also got a lot of records that I know y'all ain't got or you don't know, or I'm like what I call a digital crate digger. I still listen to albums. I go find the real hot track, not the singles. So I still buy music. Like outside of the record pools, which are like large, it's a pool of records, so people put in records, labels put in. I have a couple subscriptions to those, but then outside of that, I'm still paying like $1,500 a year of buying. Outside of paying for that, of
you
buying
different.
music, right? Just finding albums and digging. So.
Almost like a producer, from the approach.
Yeah, it's I'm there to produce the event, produce the show, and most of everything that I put on myself is curated. It's gonna be a particular sound. I don't do very many open formats. I can, so when I get booked at a bar, I'm like, it's whatever, and then I'm still gonna do whatever I do. I know when to play some shabuzi. Like, come on.
That's what I get a call. Hey, so send me that. I know you got that ratchet music.
Oh yeah,
send me that.
It'd be a random track. I'll send him a random track, but like I do got that. It's something old, but like it was something in my head. I had like I can't find it. It ain't online. I don't know where this record at. But yeah, so I take like the completely different approach and just when you come to see me, it's for an experience, and it's you're gonna get something unique that nobody else is really doing. There's a lot of DJs in the city. We have a very live DJ culture when you actually look at it. And we have a very unique DJ culture here in Omaha to where people can kind of make a name for themselves or they get washed under. So when you talk about, it's no different than any other art form.
Yeah.
If you sound or do what somebody else is doing, nobody's gonna remember you. Period. The end of the discussion. So it's still being loud that I know, but he doing that. But I know they doing that. And it's just figuring out, just like any artist, like I don't know all these little pookies and stuff. Like I don't know them. They don't be here in 2 years either. Versus the people who have a distinct sound, a distinct voice, a distinct tempo, message, like they stick around. They build longevity. So I'm like, and they might be a longer road, but it's the long road. It's there. It's long on the front end and the back end. So I'm chasing that, and it's more about just giving the people something else. I believe that we have, especially as like black people, we get the short end of the stick as far as our creativity and our sounds and our art forms. I'm here to express that we are far more in depth to us, even in music. Like we make all these styles and we not promoting it. Why are we not promoting it? I ain't gonna lie, soapbox, mini soapbox, I get tired of everything being trap. Trap paint, trap karaoke, trap. I'm like, y'all do know we like do a lot of stuff. Like it don't always got to be that. Now it's the hot ticket, but who determines what's hot? Because if I can get them to come to a house party, I can get them to come to a neo soul versus R&B, not just a regular R&B party. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm digging in crates, I'm playing this abstract stuff that's fire. Then we got some here. and I know you ain't got it. That's be my whole thing. I don't even shop like that. I don't even buy shoes y'all got. I don't buy you know what I'm saying? Like I don't do it. Like I'm cool.
Can I ask you then, like, what are all the other genres that you like to play in? So I know a little bit more about that.
It's still hip hop. It's just I go find. I like new artists. And I like new artists that typically are not played on the radio. They're extremely talented, extremely creative.
Like very like intellectual artists?
It's not necessarily. It depends on how I'm feeling. So like one of my favorite artists, even right now, like two of them that I was waiting on their little summer EPs. One named Joey Perp out of Chicago, and one name is Jace out of Atlanta, who used to be a part of 2-9, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's like. They little EPs last year was the hottest shit out. Like just from a music standpoint, I'm like, they're they're intelligent, but they're not quote unquote conscious beating you over the head. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? These dudes talking about some stuff.
Just like real life stuff?
Yeah, it could be street, it could be party, it could be fun. Joey Perp is very diverse as far as he'll have trap record, he'll have house records, he do it all. But I find that more in my lane because that's kind of how I am. I'm gonna find everything, but I love neo soul. I'm not a traditional R&B guy. I'm an alternative R&B guy. Soul records, hip hop, funk, jazz, and then in my spare time, just listening. I'm listening all across the board, like. Catch me listening to like Hiatus Coyote or something wild like that. Like people like, who the? Yeah, I'm in there with the white folks and vibing out. I ain't going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was went to the Jungle show. You know Jungle? Oh, y'all tripping. Now y'all tripping.
I know Tash Sultana's song Jungle.
No, it's a band called Jungle, and y'all missed their show. They had Boss on as the opener, Boss from Dreamville. But Jungle is.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I got it.
They are now. They are.
I'm gonna be at home tonight, like typing in like chicks.
But it's just training my ears because it's like a producer. Like our greatest hip hop music comes from other music. Hip hop in itself is a remix of everything else. It's taking what's hot over here, bringing it over here, chopping it in a way that is repetitive in certain parts, and making it funky and cool. That's hip hop. Like that's why it's hip. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Hop is the beat, make you dance. So that's what we do. So even when I'm listening, even now when I listen to music, I'm paying more attention to producers and finding the samples and. Without even looking it up, listening for the musicality of it, and I'm like, oh, that's high. I'm like, what is that? Or just finding a song and be like, yo, that'll be cold. I got to get into producing. I'm like, that'll be so cold if I slowed it. I'm like, oh, strip that. But
some of the greatest producers or DJs are just dope DJs. I mean, it's all across 3-6, and I mean, there's a lot of them. There's too many to listen.
Yep. They all. When stuff gets stale, they all go back to DJ and get active because they name out there. Like, let me go get this money.
Yep.
I just really love like how unique that is all around. Like a lot of the DJs that I've went to see, a lot of them fall into like that EDM category. I mean, like. And like to hear that people are out there like mixing things that you don't normally mix together and like playing around for it and doing it for the art form rather than just DJ to DJ.
Yeah, and
right.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry, but hip hop DJs are the most skilled of any DJs.
Hot take.
Hot take.
EDM, they're within a certain range at all times. And a lot of times, because they're in that certain range, they can just beat match, and you can really get away with not knowing anything. You can get away. Now, you can still, if you have a trained ear, you can hear who really get busy.
Okay.
And you have to have a trained ear in EDM to really know. Because then they're a different style. They're playing with effects. They're playing with vocals and samples a little bit differently. But a lot of that tempo's in the same. But for hip hop DJs to control a night and get in these tempos and get out and scratching and mixing and cutting certain ways and like, yo, this is wild. Like technically, hip hop DJs are what DJing came from in general. Yep. Everything else as far as DJing is a spinoff of hip hop DJs. It's funny because hip hop is a spinoff of everything else.
Right on.
But
Dang, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's 2 vinyl turntables. Yeah, that's crazy. So kind of on that tip, you know, I want to skip 4 and just jump straight in, like on the gear tip, because even you talked about Soull moving from just like the classic vinyl into some of the electronic equipment. So now, with all things considered, what would you say is like your top 2 like favorite pieces of gear to work with in today's environment?
I just got to go with the ones that I use, and that would be this. My first controller I've ever had is the DDJ Rev 7. I have that now, and then the Rain 12s with an Elite mixer. Yeah, that's what I use. Those are the 2 setups that I got.
For those who don't know, like the Rain and Rain 12s, they don't have the needle anymore. They don't even have it on there. It's built-in tech. So.
So you're like spinning, not actually like
you are actually
no. They operate like turntables. That's why I need it.
Right. Okay. So he likes to use those. Me, I use like a company called Reloop. They're newer, but I also use what's called Phase. Phase is like basically it's the digital Bluetooth that acts as a needle. So it sticks to the middle of your record and it's spinning. So even if I pick the record up, it's there, but I can scratch up here.
What?
So it's not a needle, and it's just sending the signal. And they partner with Serato to get it with a cleaner sound, exclusive to Serato. Actually, I think now they got to the other ones, but
got techniques. I got those for the techniques.
But I think even like Soull would probably say that I think there's nothing like feeling, even if it's a digital vinyl record spinning in your hands, it changes the game of even the control factor, because now you have to control this thing. So when you have real records that are spinning, you have to know the pressure, the touch, all that still matters. It's live, it's in effect, and it just gives you the nostalgia of DJing. Like it's cumbersome because you got to carry this equipment, but like me, I have a controller and it just did not work. And I was just like, I just got to stick. I like sticking with my turntables. I started on a little controller with Soull, and then I started like, yo, I'm getting these turntables. He had to get the little box. I forgot the. And I'm like, yo, I need this.
Yeah,
He's some dude gave me some raggedy little. I'm like, all right, I don't care. We moving up. But it's figuring out needles and learning needle points and spherical versus. I'm like, this is. But it's always having a pair of needles in your bag, especially when you're doing because tech can fail. It hasn't, but everybody here got gigs that blew up on them.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Always got to have a contingency plan when you're going out to DJ. So and know what you're doing, because a lot of DJs, they open up their laptop, pull up their software, have no idea but how to make it go forward. That's it, and they've been out here for years. Because I watch them DJ, and I can see them taking the long route. They're taking the long route because they don't even know what they got. They don't even know what's in front of them. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Even some of my homeboys, they still call me. Like, dude, you've been DJing longer than I have. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to take the time out to learn all the stuff that is inside of this software. Cause I went from anti to, man, look here, geek me out. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite software you run?
I'm Serato, DJ Pro. That's what I'm on all day, every day. I looked at Record Box. I even looked at Virtual. These are 2 different things that do the same thing, but they're different made by different companies.
Kind of like Apple and Android.
Yeah. So, but not that they're any better or worse. It was, the workflow for me on a Serato was best for me.
You just like the interface the best.
Yeah. They look completely different though, and for me, Serato is the cleaner. And I jumped in when they weren't even top dog. I think it was Record Box was top dog for a minute. Yeah, man. And it just Serato's always been cleaner, and they've been the most aggressive with pushing technology, like truly pushing forward. So like I said, getting the Phase and buying them out so they can integrate it into their system, so it works more seamless. So it's just watching those type of companies and who cares about, who's really listening to the users.
Yeah, shout out to the Germans.
Yeah. Well, Serato, is in New Zealand.
but it was I forgot that dude's name with the bushy hair that did Serato.
Oh yeah.
But I can see his face. I can't think of his name.
So yeah. I know they people like, just write the names down. Y'all figure it out. If you jumping in, I'm sorry. You might want to jump on Serato. If you do anything else, and the controllers come with the software. So if you buy a real controller, don't buy the little $59 one where you doing this. It ain't gonna come with nothing. Get a real. Go ahead and invest. So if you're gonna invest. You asked about equipment. This ain't no cheap hobby.
Yeah, no.
Like I wouldn't pick DJing.
Well, get the little one if you're gonna make it a hobby.
Yeah, if you're gonna make it a hobby, and you just want to play at your family gathering. Get the little thing. Get the Serato light for free, and do what you want. You got a decent little big laptop, you good.
Yeah.
If you thinking about doing this, prepare yourself.
It's a business, like y'all said. We're here for DJing and business, right?
Yeah.
It is a business, and when people say, "Yo, I got $200 for you to come DJ for 4 hours,"
Talk about it.
Are you kidding me? My mixer costs $2,200. Each turntable costs $1,000.
Sell them.
You know, then you got the sound system, whatever.
They couldn't even buy the cords with 200. We can't even go get all new cords.
Like, it's a lot of risk when a DJ comes out. It's not. I'm saying I'm not putting it on the people, but know your worth and charge it.
Yeah.
The price is the price. Set the price and go live your life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay-Z. So that is that. Like, and then that's the thing with a lot of DJs, that they become good, they get their brand up, and they're out here doing gigs, but they still catching nickels. And whenever I get a chance to talk to a DJ that I feel like can be getting paid more, it was an analogy that was taught to me when I thought I was gonna give up DJing. I thought I was gonna leave it because I had got a $22,000 check. I was like, I'm not leaving. Forget this DJ stuff. I'm about to go sell mobile trucks and units and stuff. So, but anyway, in that, I told him, hey man, I'm about to go out here and try to find me some clients, right? Because I used to do business development for this company called Cruising Kitchens in San Antonio, right? Remember that? Yeah. And so when I was walking out my man Marco's office, he was just like, so you about to go try to find some customers? I'm like, yeah, 150, 200,000, because that is a small amount of money. I feel more people would have that amount of money to build a custom mobile unit, right? Food truck or whatever, business on, office on wheels, whatever they want to build. And then he said, how about this? I'm gonna tell you something. So you're gonna be here about 6-7 hours trying to develop the business. I'm like, yeah. He said, so what's the difference between the 6 and 7 hours of someone who got $250,000 or somebody got $1 million? There ain't no difference. There is no difference in the time you gotta spend to get to the customer. So as these DJs, if you're just enamored by just seeing your name on a flyer and your face on a flyer and like, I'm booked every weekend, and you're getting paid $300. Let's say you got what is that, $1,200? When I can do one gig and get the same $1,200, probably even doing it for less time. So you can go run that rat race, because I've been there and done that. I'm not against it, but there are some DJs who are past it. Like, ma'am, sir, you're dope. Stop taking this money. But they're keeping the value of the DJs down, at least the good DJs down, right? But that's why when you asked me earlier where I DJ, man, you can catch me in an office somewhere DJing getting $2,000 for 2 hours, as opposed to being out here ducking bullets at a bar for $300. It's not happening no more.
That's real tough.
And private parties. Shout out to the doctors in the city.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Private party.
That sounds nice.
Shout out Soull's DJ friends.
It's crazy because if you taking a nickel bag, then you got to know that's just a nickel bag. Like that's just, I ain't got nothing to do. No way. Friday night I wasn't going out. Yeah, I'll come DJ over here. I know it's only $300, but I get to do it. Hey, but then you got to also, when you set your price, you got to set the rules. The lower you pay me, the more freedom I got.
Oh, that's a good point.
So like, if you not, I'm like, this ain't. Don't ask me for.
Right, yeah.
Don't come up in my face. I'm doing whatever I feel like, and all the time I tell people like,
Yep.
I'm doing what I feel like.
Right.
If I'm gonna take something,
Right.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
I'm just here. Like you know how hard it is to haul this and set it up.
Right, yeah.
Especially like I don't even like, unless it's my event. I don't like doing stuff where I got to set it up. Like, so now I'm like, we got to be on the stages, we got to be at venues if I really, really want to do it. Or I just got to charge you corporate rate.
Yep.
So, and then DJs, please have your invoice. And if you cutting the price, show it as a discount, not as your rate.
Yeah.
So if you got this price and then be like, no, this is the family and friends discount.
Right. Show
So
it to
they
them.
know.
Yep.
So when they go say your price, like, no, this is my price.
Yeah.
So it matches what you say when you say, no, I really charge $400 an hour,
Right.
whatever it is. But then I just gave you the
Right. Just had that conversation with a lady that called me last night to, pay the deposit to book me for next year. That's the exact conversation because I did the thing for them last year. And the people at the party like, oh, let me get that DJ's number, blah, blah. And she told them like, whoa. What you think was my hookup. That is not his price. They called anyway and got that real price. I ain't heard from them. I'm still waiting on that call back. But going back to, you did say something that I want to elaborate on really quick because you're 100% right. If you aren't doing anything on Sunday and someone called you up and say, man, come grab this right quick, it's 3, 4, man, go grab that money. I'm not saying don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's make money than not make money. So let me be clear in that. I'm talking about on your regular gigs, like understand the worth and what you're doing. And you can show the worth in an invoice if you breaking down what you're doing. That's why I say, so is the sound gonna be there or do I gotta bring it?
Yep.
Right? You know what about that though? They understand it. Sometimes when you just tell somebody it's $1,000, they don't understand it. They're like, man, you just a DJ. Oh, okay, cool. What's there? Oh, I gotta bring it? You want microphones?
Yeah.
Oh, you want some lights?
Speakers.
Right?
That's backline.
Got you.
That's a whole nother piece of the
You
company.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
backline.
And then I say, I tell you what though, pay me this, you go rent it. Okay, cool. Call me right back. Hey, yeah, go ahead and bring everything you got. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
115 costs you about $250 to rent.
Right.
So, you
Shout
know.
out Caleb. Speakers available for rent.
You rent speakers, Caleb? I didn't know, my guy.
Yeah.
I could have used you for tomorrow. I got a wedding to do at the what the heck is that place called? They used to be Tip Top. Omaha Design Center. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I love that place. It's cool.
So we
there.
just got one last question for y'all. Y'all got everybody on the panel thinking deep, so I'm sure the audience is gonna love this one. Chris Brown or Michael Jackson?
Nah. I was just, we just jumped off the DJ bridge.
It's going around. We got two DJs, two people here who have studied music at a molecular level. You know, the timing.
I like that word.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll pass it to Eric first, and your reason why. No right or wrong.
Because this happens to be a trend. Chardell was saying that people are comparing.
Since when?
I didn't know either.
How can you
Chris Brown and
Chris Brown?
Michael Jackson.
What are we comparing? So I'm that guy. I'm gonna hit you. What are we comparing? What are we
Same
talking
thing
about?
that
That's fair. So
What are we talking
obviously
about?
dancing, stage presence. I would say timelessness is definitely one of them. We know who wins that one. But then also just like body of work. Okay. I'm just they ain't heard it from you, Eric. So just let the people know.
I don't usually do either or. So from a dance tip is Chris. He has a more versatile bag. Timelessness is Mike. There's nobody. He's the most famous Black American. Second is Malcolm X in the world. So Mike Jackson is number one as most famous Black American, the lead
Most famous.
in the world. But music is. I think back in the day it was quality over quantity. So what he would put out had to be top notch. Because everybody, and people don't realize, even back then, everybody and their mama had a record. Everybody had a record. Trust me, you can go talk to somebody down the street, they got a vinyl right now, and they're like, yeah, I'll record it. And they'll put it on if it's hot. Like, I know we think that now, but you had to have, they wanted more quality. So the quality music, typically based just because of subject matter and the amount of writers that they wanted to put around you, they're going to have it versus just letting the artist kind of do most of the writing. talk about the same thing. Like Chris has gotten into more repetitive state, but it's also the sound of today. But also now it depends on how hot you are online versus just your talent anyways. Yep. Chris' talent is immense. It hadn't faded. It's just that's not what's in. So overall, I mean, who do I think is the better artist?
Yeah, your opinion.
I don't even know who's the better artist.
They got
Mike,
quiet.
like who's the better artist? Who's the better artist? You don't actually know. I'm being very specific. The better, I don't necessarily know. Chris got talent. He just doesn't tapped into all of it. So right now it's gonna be Mike. Chris hadn't tapped into everything that he can do.
Yeah.
He just ain't. Yeah. He just hadn't. He's in a stale place.
Yeah.
I mean, just
he needs more creative. He needs more creatives around him of different. He needs to do what I do and other DJs do and producers do and just go listen to other stuff, get around other stuff. It'll show through in his art form. Then we'll see he could have a whole nother career if he want. He could have a whole nother secondary career. He could shift like Juicy J.
Crazy.
Juicy J done had 3 lives out here in the music business. He could literally shift and do that. He just has to get people around him to get him to do that.
Yeah.
Go hang with Thundercat and my weirdo friends. Like, go hang with the homies.
Yeah, I just ditto.
Okay.
You know, more or less. Yeah. So, it's gonna be 1A and 1B to me because they're different eras, different times. Michael Jackson is dealing with real musicians, real musicality, where his is electronically done. Not to say people don't play on Chris records because they do play on it, but it's just different. And like you said, man, Mike Jack, he's a dancer, but he ain't touching Chris Brown when it comes to that dancing. Y'all can forget about freestyle choreography. I don't care what robot, moonwalk, whatever you want. Well, Michael get him on the moonwalk. But
Mike can break and moonwalk.
Man, Mike's breakdancing was out of pocket. Like he was a robot. He was a pop blocker, right?
Yeah.
But it was in this weird pocket, and he had no finishing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that's my breakdancing coming out.
I got you.
Like it was doing it, but like he wouldn't finish.
Right.
He choreographed everything.
In the crump world, they would call it a kill off. He has no kill off. Like what's your move to whoa?
Yeah, but like
he can get in it, but he don't got the kill off.
That's my 1A, 1B. I'm not picking because they're different. I'm not picking, man.
All right, so MJ, Kobe, LeBron. No, I'm like, nah. All right, so that kind of wraps up the episode today. Appreciate both of you guys coming on, sharing all those years of knowledge with us and the audience out there. Any final remarks?
No, I said they covered it all. They really got into the business.
I mean, we had to say nothing.
We're talking about invoicing and
we left a lot on the table.
Oh yeah, we ain't even.
Oh yeah.
We left a lot on the table. But yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, come sit at the Streets A&R podcast, and that's Streets A&R on all platforms. But come. We'll take time. I ain't gonna lie. We'll sit there for a minute. I think our first episode was 2.5 hours.
Was it?
Yeah, it was long.
Wow.
When's your guys' next event you're gonna do that people can come to freely? That's not a private party.
At a doctor's office.
Well, November the 2nd, the radio station will be at the Diamond Room for the Culture Ball, and there was an R&B group that was connected to a guy that's going through some stuff right now. But anyway, day 26. Anyway, so they dropped a new album, right? And it's a nice album. It's a really nice album. And so we booked them to come perform that album live, the new album and stuff. Nice. Of course, they can do the other stuff. And myself, Ray Bay the DJ, Tristan Tripp is going to be there DJing on November the 2nd at the Diamond Room. Tickets available at 879theculture.com. And it's like, when we use the word formal, it doesn't mean a tuxedo. But best believe you got to be dressed up. We want people to come in today, I went to Vegas clothes. You know what I'm saying? To be fly, that's November the 2nd.
Crew next.
Yeah, and I can't dress my guy. I'm the one who said, yo, we're going to make people dress up. can't dress to save my life. You got me, man. I need somebody to stop.
I got you.
That was
Man,
crazy seeing Soull the other day with no sneakers on. Everybody in the room stopped and stared when he walked in.
That was funny.
Oh, the interview. Yeah. I see they leaking those out right now.
I know.
They leaking those out right now. I done got some new followers.
Okay.
People like, you know what I'm saying? Different style of woman in my inbox right now.
Oh my God, you sound so mature. I really like.
Who is this guy?
I really
That's what it is. Like, I didn't know.
That was shot here at Content Parlor Studio. So rent the studio to get different types of girls in your inbox.
Put this on.
Just all I had on was a button-up shirt. That was it. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man.
My next event, next Friday, October 25th, we back at Tiny House for the second rendition of the Black House. It's gonna pack out. It's gonna be hot. But make sure you wear black and white because it's a glow edition. So we're gonna have glow sticks. I don't know if we're gonna do no paint, but I hope not. I ain't trying to get nothing dirty. But it's gonna be sweaty. It's gonna be house party.
That's the one by the concert place, right? Downtown.
13th Street. No, it's on 13th Street.
Little Bohemia.
Yeah, on the south side.
Yeah, on the south,
Hold
south
on.
side of
Give me
downtown.
all. I'm not there yet. What happened? Where we at?
Oh man.
You gotta pull up.
No, I'm
pull up and see
I'm
it.
telling you, like geographically, I still don't know what you're talking about.
13th. So you know where Bemis is?
Yeah,
Off of
yeah.
13th Street is going to the south side, like you going to Old Sokol
Under
to
that
the
bridge.
Admiral.
Roger
going that way.
All right. So what's the one that's by the slowdown? That little be the place.
Oh, that's trap room.
Trap
That's a-
room. I knew it was
that's a real-
tiny house trap room.
That's the itty bitty.
Yeah.
Itty bitty room.
Itty bitty room.
Yeah, trap room. That's a little. You just want to do
Okay,
something
because I was
private.
thinking that in my head. Because
Oh,
I
no,
knew
no.
it was something about a house, something in the room.
Tiny house, and I wish they had the second space open by then, because then I'd set the speakers up over there as well and let people spread out. But it
Got
was
you.
furniture moving, people climbing through the window. It was,
Holy cow.
yeah, it was.
That's
That's that rhythm, man.
Yeah, so it was. It's gonna be like.
Okay.
You come later. You come after 11 o'clock if you want to. it's there.
So there's a likelihood that we release this more than a week out. So
That's fine.
give us another event, maybe in November that you got coming.
November. I'm trying to think. I don't have anything that's not like. I got a couple community things, but for those who know and follow me, we were having some issues with the sneaker soiree
I
this
was
year.
just gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
We finally got a new situation, same artist, but that's going to be in 2025. So stay tuned. Get your sneakers ready, get your suits ready, get your dresses ready. But
Don't
that's
wear
gonna
no
be in
J's, or you're not winning. I don't think nobody's winning nothing with the J's.
No. You're going to have to have something.
Oh, you have
gotta
there's
have
a
some-
contest.
Yeah, a little contest too.
Word.
So
I'm coming with some
There's some stuff
croquets,
that came in
boy.
that, that last one. It was
Yeah.
something on.
yeah, the people picked they picked the winner. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like, really? Some basic night? All right, whatever. But yeah, that'll be coming next year, first quarter next year. So just be on the lookout for that event. And probably, New Year's Eve is always a time for the DJs to feed. So figuring that.
$5,000 quadrillion.
Just follow the DJs so y'all know what's happening.
Yeah.
Side note, Caleb has a pair of off-white shoes, so he's invited to the sneaker soiree.
Wow.
can't
So
leave the house
there's a
with them.
level of sneaker that I need to have so I can get in the dough.
You gotta be prepared.
You can get on the door with any sneaker. Now, if they gonna pay attention to you,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, this is like
This is
high school
Don't
all
wear no
over
pants.
again.
Yeah.
Don't wear
Still
no
got that
pants,
dingy
that's
shirt on, huh, Soull?
Okay.
I had a pair, and I got my suit and stuff, but I might change it now, because I might feel like putting the suit on before. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to get a new suit, new look, get some new shoes. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what I pull out.
Yep.
Well, cool. That's a wrap. Leave us a comment below what you think of this episode, and we'll see you guys in the next edition of the Content Parlor. Peace.